Assalamu alaikum and welcome all. I hope that you will be enjoying a happy and healthy life. Viewers, in today's video, I will be talking about the most easy growing plant, which is easily available and can be grown in almost any part of the world, and most of us know it by its common name, which is aloe vera. Otherwise, in different parts of the world, it has different names and different varieties. Actually, it is found in more than 100 varieties all around the world. I think I have two of them here. One is pure green, and the other one is with these spotted leaves, dotted ones, white patterns on the leaves, you can say. It is very easy to handle plants, especially for beginners. In fact, I would recommend all of you to have this plant at home, and there are two solid reasons behind this recommendation. Reason number one is that it's a very low maintenance plant, and this point I will discuss in detail in the later part of this video. Reason number two is that it is known for many nutritional and medicinal benefits. For example, its gel, which is filled in these leaves, these flakes are basically its leaves with some thorns on the edges and gel inside. It is filled with the translucent gel, which is edible. At least these two varieties are edible. I'm not sure about all others. In a while, I will show you that also, that how you can extract that gel. So I was telling that its gel is used to treat burns and cuts, and then it is used in cosmetics like to make face mask, beauty cream, moisturizing cream, hair masks, etc. Many things like that. And it is edible, so people use it as a medicine to treat some stomach issues, and then it is thought to be good for joints, and it's basically used in beverages and smoothies. And if you will ask me, yes, we also use it. Mostly I add it in omelette for eating, and otherwise we use it as hair mask, which is very good. Actually, it provides shine and moisturizes your hair. You don't have to use the conditioner if you're using aloe vera. But please listen carefully that if you want to use aloe vera gel, then please do some research on it before using. Why I'm saying that? Because first of all of its varieties are not edible, and secondly, it might disturb your stomach if taken in more quantity. And then there are different types of research and studies available on internet. You might not agree with some of them. So I would recommend, please do complete research before any type of use of aloe vera. Now let's go back to my first point where I said that it was a very low maintenance plant. So when I say low maintenance, it includes all the requirements of the plant, and as far as aloe veras are concerned, aloe veras want to be saved from intense, harsh and direct sunlight and overwatering, and that's all. This plant does not have any specific fertilizer, soil, water, pot size requirement, nothing like that. Now I'm repeating this for beginners especially, that this plant can only be killed by overwatering. Okay, otherwise it can be grown in any type of climate or any area, hot, cold, humid, arid. No matter where you want to grow it, you can grow it, it will survive. Just take care of water, don't overwater it. Even you can grow it as an indoor plant also, it will do very well. Especially in cold climates, it can be grown indoors. And if you face harsh summers in your area, then keep it in the shade, under shade net or under the shade of another plant. It will do well. Keeping it in harsh or direct sunlight will not kill the plant, but its leaves will turn brown. And when winters will come, they will regain their color. But yes, due to direct sunlight, its leaves will lose color and it looks like the plant is burnt. Actually, it's not. It will produce less gel if you are keeping it in harsh sunlight. But with the change of weather, it will come back to its normal gel production and normal routine. Because its leaves already hold a lot of moisture, a lot of water in form of gel, so they don't require much water. Even if you keep this plant underwatered, it will fulfill its water requirement from its own gel, so it will not die. Overwatering will kill it, not underwatering. Why I'm saying this again and again? Because as beginners we tend to give more water to the plant, especially if we adopted a new plant. We tend to give it more water out of love, and that is really dangerous for this plant. And if we will talk about its soil requirement, it doesn't have any specific soil requirement. Yes, it just likes the soil which is well drained. That again to avoid waterlogging in roots. As I told you, it doesn't like much water, so keep its soil as dry as much you can. You can see how much dry this soil is in my pots or in ground, and I am growing it in between other plants, not specifically a separate area to grow aloe vera. And it's growing in every type of soil. The only condition is soil should be kept towards drier side. In fact, the aloe veras which I have planted in ground under my moringa tree, there the soil composition is sandy. Basically, it's 70% sand and 30% other stuff. So this makes the soil well drained. People say that use the soil mix which is used for succulents, because this normally looks like a succulent. It is water filled, in fact gel filled. But I have experienced that no need of specific soil composition. Actually, it grows nicely in any type of soil if you take care of its water. You must have noticed that I am growing it in between other plants and in every other pot. All of them have different soil composition. I only take care of water drainage of those pots. And aloe vera does well everywhere. If you want to grow it as an indoor plant, then water only once a week or even less. And for outdoor, water it twice a week. Yeah, that would be enough. It again depends upon your soil mix, how well drained it is, and the temperature around you, how hot it is, right? But I am just giving you a rough idea for watering. If we will talk about fertilizer, it does not require any fertilizer as such. Still, if you want to fertilize it and feed your plant, then use any common fertilizer such as NPK in equal combination, and you can fertilize it once a year or once in 2 years. See, I don't fertilize my aloe veras, but you can see their growth. So it does not really require any type of fertilizer. You just get one aloe vera home, buy it or get it from a friend, and then you will be having aloe vera all around your garden. It's basically a little monster which spreads so quickly all over your garden. It produces bulbs, or you can say baby plants, and as soon as your plant will establish roots, it will start producing bulbs. It's not necessary that plant will mature within a period of 1 year or 2 year and then it will produce bulbs. No, it's not like that. And those baby plants can be removed and can be replanted, repotted anywhere, and they will grow as an independent plant. But yes, flowers are produced by mature plants only, and it will produce flower in winters. Okay viewers, I feel like I should wind up today's video here, just because I don't want to make it lengthy. So I will divide it into two parts, and in next video I will share rest of the points with you, such as how to propagate it and how to extract the gel from its leaves. And I will also share the tips with you to get broader leaves on your aloe vera plant. Okay. So see you soon with the aloe vera part 2, and till then take care, stay blessed, and Allah Hafiz.